it is ABC, and today I'm making another gaming tutorial. Today's tutorial was suggested by Essie Lumger. Essie Lum Jr.? I'm not sure. He suggested that I make a rhythm type game like Guitar Hero or Rock Band. So, with that said, let's get started. So, I'm gonna need to create 4 sprites because I'm gonna organize it for 3 notes and I need to have a bar at the bottom. So let's make the bar first. I'm just gonna speed this up, just so you know. Each section is going to be 32 pixels high and 64 wide. Alright, so now you make the notes. Make sure that each of the 3 notes also have the same dimensions as, or smaller than, in a way that will fit into the bar. My 3 notes are complete, and we can go into our object. So I'll just create an object for our bar to start off with. And now for the notes, I'm going to create a parent note, and then I'm going to make all the other notes, what do you call it, sons of them, I guess. So here's our obj parent. We'll just program this one the same way we want each of them to program, which is to move down at a very slow speed, because that way it'll be easy for me to test this out. So v speed equals 2. Alright, now let's create each notes individually. Create note R, and make sure that its parent is not the bar, the parent note. Alright, and give it sprite. Alright, so you can duplicate this for each one, just simply changing the sprite. Then alright, so now we got each of our objects done. Now let's go into our bar, and alright, so if we go into our sub event, what's gonna happen is the notes are gonna come down and collide with this, and if we press the correct button while it's colliding with the object, we want that particular one to be destroyed. We're going to start off with the red notes. It's always to the left, so we're going to say left button. So if note so if we press the left button and we're colliding with obj note R, then we got to say with obj note R instance destroy. Alright, so there's one thing I need to say here. This means that with our obj R object, it will have it destroy itself. So the problem with this is that this will destroy every single obj note R object, because the computer doesn't know which obj note R we're referring to. So the way we'll clarify which one we're referring to is we're going to use a function called instance nearest to that point in that particular instance. So that way we'll know that it's destroying the correct one. Alright, so we'll have to copy this 2 more times for each of our individual notes. So if we're pressing down, we want it to, and we're calling it the green one, we want to destroy that particular green one. And if we're pressing right, and we're colliding with the blue one, destroy that particular blue one. Okay, now let's go into our room. So let's create room. I'm going to make it 196 wide because that's the width of our bar at the bottom. And put the bar. I'm not going to put it quite at the bottom, so that way I'll be able to know when a note slips through or not. It'll just make it a little bit easier to test it out. And I'll also make the background white because that'll look nicer. Alright, so now there's, if you haven't noticed, there's absolutely nothing to make these nodes. So what I'm going to use for that is a timeline. Now, I went over timelines a long time ago in my Catch the Clown tutorial, but I'm assuming that most people now don't remember that, so I'm just going to go through quickly. So the way timeline works, you start the timeline, and then it'll run through these moments. So if I add moment 30, so that's step 30, that's approximately 1 second. This whatever I put here will happen 1 second after the timeline starts. So we're gonna say instance create 0 -32 obj note r. This way it'll create just outside the screen so that we can watch it come into the screen, and 0, it will align it with our red area on the bar. Just for the alignment, 0 will always be OJ note R. 64 will always be OBJ note G, and 128 will always be OBJ note B. So that would be so far for this alignment. For this number, it's OBJ note R, this is 0, so OBJ note G, this is 64, and so on. Okay. So I'm just going to go through, add a few more steps, and create more. One thing I want you to know is that it's okay to create 2 at the same time, as long as it's not the same one. Like this wouldn't work, but if it's something like this, that's fine. So I'm going to add a few more steps, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, that's all for my timeline. In order to set the timeline, we're going to go into the creation event of our bar, and we're first going to say which timeline we are going to be using. So timeline index equals timeline 1, because that's the name of the timeline right here. And then we're going to say timeline running equals true, so that way it'll start up. Alright, so let's check it out. Looks like I messed up right there. Sorry about that. There we go, works fine. So now, I'm going to tell you how to add points to this. First, I'm going to fix up my little mess up. This is supposed to be, that's supposed to be G. And, alright, so now let me show you how to add points. We're going to create a variable in the obj bar called global.points equals 0. Alright, so right here, let's say you press the left button and it's not meaning anything. Let's organize it a little differently. So if we press the left button and then this happens, we want this to happen. But if we press the left button, this doesn't happen. We want this to happen. Right here, we're going to say lose points. So say global.points minus equals 5. And then every time we get it, we'll say global.points plus equals 5. No doubt if you use this code, you're going to want to tweak it around a little bit to make it work better for your game. But this is what I'm going to do. Maybe it'll be easier if I organize it like this. There you go. That's probably easier for you. So I'm just going to copy this twice rather than modify those two. And I'm going to modify these accordingly. So down goes with green, green, the right goes with blue, and blue. And there's no use having a points variable, we can't see what it is. So in the draw event, I'm going to say, first gotta draw sprite. So this will just set be sprite. So I'll just draw our sprite right there, and then we need to draw our points variable. So let me draw text let's draw it 50-50. And our text will be whatever the global points variable is. Now there's one more thing in your program. If, in the sub-event right here, if our node manages to get outside the room, or if it goes beyond the bottom of the room, we want to lose points for that too, because we missed the node. So, if y is more than room height, global dot points minus equals 5, and also we want to destroy the instance. Alright, so now it's done, we're ready to test it out. Okay, points equals 0. See this two notes coming in, press down and left at the same time. And there we go. I added points. I'm missing that one. I'm missing that one too. And when it goes down, see I lose 2 points there. Alright, that was everything. I forgot to add this one to the list again. I did that last tutorial as well. So here, now it's on the list, and now it's off the list again because it's done. Alright, so that's all for this tutorial. For today's challenge, I challenge you to look at my particles tutorial and try to make a combination of this tutorial and that tutorial. I'll show you my attempt at it in the credits. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.